are certain identities that I possess that I'm not going to give up. I'm going to hold on to them pretty much for as long as I believe they're true, and as far as I'm concerned at this point, that looks like the rest of my existence on this planet. I am myself. I am a male. I am conservative. I hold conservative ideals. And one of the most important, maybe the most important thing that you can say about me is I am a Christian. That having been said, I see at the moment a tendency towards, and this is the subject for today's Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host. I'm Kurt, and today is Thursday, the 20th of January of 2022. Welcome to everyone who's here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube, on BitChute, on CloudHub. If you happen to see me on Minds, minds.com, or Locals, then you can obviously watch me there as well if I happen to have put my stuff out there. But that subject that I wanted to talk about today is Scrambled Ideologies, having gotten all of that out of the way. I want to go through my notes rather quickly just to kind of give you an idea where I am, where all of this is concerned, so that you'll get an idea just exactly what it is that I'm saying. It's gotten to the point where people seem to be unable to associate ideas, concepts, and positions with the group they primarily belong to. Tim Pool has stated that people who are against vaccine mandates are not inherently right-leaning. They are, as far as I'm concerned, since that's anti-authoritarian, and believe it or not, right-leaning is anti-authoritarian. In fact, I can't see any other way to look at that. He seems to think the same is true where opposing the establishment is concerned. Even when the establishment is moved in authoritarian directions. I guess it's come time to abandon the labels and start specifically stating perspectives with regard to given situations instead. You'll notice that in my videos I do this anyway. Maybe that's what certain folks are trying to force. Maybe that's not what we want to do, and maybe it's what certain people are trying to force. If so, I guess that'll just have to be okay. Regardless whether this is a new thing or something I've just recently come to understand, we need to arrive at a place where we can realize who our friends and, maybe more importantly, our foes actually are. It's unimportant whether you're some sort of political wonk or basically a novice where such things are concerned. It's past time to begin to identify what we believe, then to drop the petty squabbles and misunderstandings which are often engineered, and start to get together with those people who have similar minds to our own. You can think all you want you're against conservatism or liberalism or whatever ism you happen to think you're against. In the end, though, you need to know what people believe and support and decide whether or not you agree. That means deciding what's important from most important to least can't wait. You have to do it now. You have to start thinking about what matters. You must begin to prioritize and along the way set expectations. Do you care if babies are dying? Do you care if China kills and sterilizes enemies of the state? Do you want people to be able to take care of themselves, or do you believe the state must be willing to step in and take care of folks for the remainder of their lives, however long that happens to be? Does it matter whether I believe in a God you don't think is there? It's time to begin to weigh such things and come to your own conclusions. And when you're done with that, it's time to begin to ask those around you hard questions about what they support. Among those, it's most important to understand the motivations of are the people who will end up in control of things if you put in positions, of authority, if you put them in positions of authority at high or low levels, by the way. We must stop handing the reins to people who will steer us off proverbial cliffs when they grab them. when they grab those reins. Be it on school boards, Congress, as dog catcher, or as president, we need to have folks in authority who will act according to the desire of sane, rational folks. If there's somebody steering who's not there, they must leave. We can no longer allow jumbled ideologies to confuse and divide. Instead, we must assume those things are not important and move on. All right, I'm done with my notes, as you probably have guessed. I have to say that there are a lot of people out there who seem to believe that I'm kind of trying to think of the best way to phrase this. That when you say conservative, you mean this or that or this other thing. They have to be somebody who's an authoritarian thug if you say that they're a conservative. When you say leftist, you have to mean this or that or the other thing. They're for freedom or voting rights or whatever. Anti-racism, against racism, whatever you want to say. I have to tell you something. I consider myself a right-leaning individual. Not heavily right-leaning, but fairly substantially right-leaning. I don't believe government should not exist at all. But I'm not for authoritarianism. I'm not for despotism. I'm not for socialism. I'm not for communism. I'm not for Nazism. I'm not for any of that. And when it comes to racism, I have no time for it. It's a total waste of everybody's time to do the whole racism thing. I'm totally against that. But I consider myself a rightist and I consider myself a conservative. And out of everything in terms of the political views that many people espouse, I consider republicanism and with a strong leaning towards libertarianism to be the place that I live. If you look at that ideology and you assume that that person is racist, well, you're not talking about me. If you assume that person is authoritarian or a Nazi, you're not talking about me. And I'm here to tell you something that a lot of people maybe won't quite so readily acknowledge. You're not saying that when you're talking about a lot of people who are on the right. And I'm here to tell you another thing. There are a lot of people on the left who will tell you they're not racist, and then they'll act in the most racist of possible ways. The soft bigotry of low expectations, telling you that people who are black can't get IDs so that they can vote, telling you that people who are black don't know how to vote. These days, if you instituted a poll tax, the chances are a black man would be as easily able to pay it as a white guy. It's a ridiculous thing to say, but then again, I don't stand for poll taxes either. I don't consider that a good idea. But what I'm saying is black folks are sufficiently empowered these days to deal with things of that sort. Look, it's simple. You can make scrambled eggs out of the ideologies all you want, but in the reality, what it comes down to is you better get used to something. People are going to start looking for what people stand for and what they don't, and they're going to stop caring how you label them, if they have any sense. And if they don't have any sense, I'm afraid they won't do that. But if they have any sense, they're going to go, nope. I see what this person stands for. I see what Donald Trump stands for, and Donald Trump stands for Hispanic employment. Donald Trump stands for black employment. Donald Trump stands for female employment. And they're going to stop worrying about whether or not you consider him a Republican or a Nazi or a socialist or whatever else you might happen to concern yourself with or call him. And they're going to go, no. That's not what, whatever you call this guy, here are the things that he stands for. Again, as a Christian, I'm a Christian, and you can try and pollute that all you want. I'm not going to accept the pollutions. With republicanism, with rightism, those things I'll allow you to pollute them if you really feel you must. But I'm here to tell you right now, pollute them or not, I am who I am. I stand for what I stand for. And it's plain and simple time for you to look at that, not what label I stick on myself or what label somebody else sticks on me. Okay, I need to go ahead and wrap up. This is a Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I'm your host. I'm Kurt, and today is Thursday, the 20th of January, 2022. That means tomorrow will be Friday, the 21st of January of 2022, the beginning of the Sabbath at sundown on that day for those who observe it. I hope you're having a good day today, and hope you will do so as well tomorrow. Thanks for everyone who's been here on Rumble, on the podcast, on YouTube, on BitChute, on CloudHub. If you happen to catch me on minds.com, if you happen to catch me also on locals.com, you can do that there as well. I'll publicize that a little better as time goes on. Subject for today has been Scrambled Ideologies. Tomorrow we're going to talk about being accepted, and I think I'm going to take hopefully a little bit of a different tack on that than you might have thought that I would have done. Remember, if you catch my content on Rumble, you can give me a Rumble to show that you like my content. You can also give me a plus or minus to show that you like or don't like it. Obviously, there are likes and dislikes on just about every platform I've told you I'm on, and you can use those if you see fit. Remember, wherever I put my content, if you comment, I will do my best to look at that and see what you have to say, particularly if I'm notified of it. And if I feel like it's a reasonable thing, I will reply if I'm able to do so. Hope you're having a good day, as I said earlier. Hope tomorrow is a good day for you as well. Hope the new year is shaping up okay for you to this point. We're almost done with January. Well, we're getting there. Anyway, we're on that 20th day of January today. And hopefully we will see you again on Friday's edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. The speaker on this edition of the Daily Summation is Kurt Schubert. Today's podcast was recorded on Thursday, January 20th of 2022. The Daily Summation is created for Kurt's Religion and Politics. Thanks for watching this edition of the Daily Summation from Kurt's Religion and Politics. I hope you found it entertaining or instructional, or maybe both. If you want to see more from me, you can go to blogs.kpschubert.com. That's blogs.kpschubert.com. I am on Twitter, Parler, and Minds.com. My handle on each of those is @kpschubert. That's @kpschubert. I have a Rumble and a YouTube channel. They are the Kurt's Religion and Politics channels on Rumble and YouTube. I have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is Kurt's Religion and Politics as well. I am on Patreon. If you want to support me, that's one of the better places you can do that, and you will find me at Kurt's Religion and Politics on Patreon. I have a podcast. The podcast is podcasts with an S .kpschubert.com. That's podcasts.kpschubert.com. I think you should be able to find me with relative ease on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify as well. The best way I find to do that is to look for Kurt's Religion and Politics. You can try to use the Daily Summation. I find that it doesn't work as well as a general rule, but you can always try that. I'm glad to have you aboard today, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow.